Yo, freaks, I got a secret. So today at the Freaky Friday, we talked about Midjourney and we gave awesome tips. We also did a tutorial on creating 2D metaverses with pixel art with the help of Midjourney. So easy, even I could do it. For all you freaks out there, here it goes. Watch it. Look, I'm playing with cinematic styles, making it look like film scenes. Everything in Dega needs to tell a story. So every image we're gonna do is gonna start looking cinematic. So I was playing with some poses, looks, and images. I also have the prompts for this. If anyone ever needs prompts, I have a bunch. And the other thing, the other style I'm going for is this one. That is modern. This one doesn't have the colors yet, but I'm playing with all these things. This is the one we're using for the Freaky Fridays and the barber shop in the Dega Mods corner.
Got a question for you, Freak. If you get something generated that you like, how would you get Midjourney to recreate that same image?
Oh, I have a process for characters. Let's say I really like this donkey dude. So I'm doing like a whole hip hop with animals. I'm creating like the Wu-Tang Clan, but they're all different animals. So there's the jaguar, all these characters. What I use is I start using this one as the base prompt. So I just copy the image address for that and I start referencing out in the next prompts. And usually, and if I need to multi-prompt, I use the same prompting and then I complement it with a new action. Or if I'm going for a cinematic style, I use the cinematic prompt, but inside the cinematic prompt, I have the prompt of the character. And sometimes it takes just like a lot of redo, blending, describe, redo, and then you start getting it. But it's a process. It's not like you get it in the first prompt. You actually have to prompt a lot. But there's also a guide here in AI Prompts Guide. I also publish a guide here for puppets. It's called Puppets. It's having consistent characters. But here you can see there's a guide that you can use puppeteering to get consistent characters. These are the cinematic, Richie. These are like the way we want to do the cinematic scenes. It's like more a film shot with special camera and action going on, stuff like that.
Yeah, there's something happening there.
Exactly. So
what's this guy's story? What is going on there?
Exactly.
He's fight. He's like losing the love of his life. He's like just found treasure, something like that.
Exactly. We're always telling a story because I'm tired of this. It's like everyone in fucking AI is doing this thing.
It's like, what is the story there? I just came out of a prompt. That's the story.
Look here. You start telling a lot of things. It's what it is behind him, is the way we got the camera, the way the background plays. Everything is telling a story. So we're just crafting it. This is what we used to do when we were doing campaigns. We used to hire a photographer, create the concept art, and try to recreate this, kind of like with La Chapelle or those photographers. You would hire for $35,000 a day or $100,000 a day, but we're getting it here. So I think this is pretty powerful and will give Dega a unique look.
I think for sure your experience in filmmaking, photography is just amplified with, that is amazing, that one right there. Yeah, in general, that is all amplified with prompting.
Yep. This, for example, we're trying, like the idea with this kind of avatars we're going to start doing is to put them in action. So here you can see, this was a small experiment, didn't work. But here we got all these characters that we want to see in action, that we want to see doing things. So, and they look cool. They're really cool. I love it. Really.
They look very clean. It's amazing.
It takes a lot of prompting, but yeah, it's really cool. What we want to get is to like the droid with some biological mix. So you don't understand where the technology stops and the magic starts. That's the idea. Because the concept we work is magic is just technology that you haven't discovered yet. Or so telepathy is Wi-Fi, something like that. But
I think about that all the time. Like I do believe, I'm an engineer, but I do believe in some esoteric things like magic, like for example, life after death, psychic connections, like when you feel something and then somebody else from your family or somebody else that is very close to you is also feeling it, stuff like that. I do believe there is some unconscious level that we have not connected or tapped into. But as an engineer, I think at some point we're going to do some other tests into that. And it will be cool to things that right now we consider normal from tech. In the past were magic. Like, how would you send a WhatsApp messages to somebody else around the world? That would be magic for people, or talk with them in video. And I think in the future, it would be something like that a little bit. So that's like an interesting story to tell. What happens if actually science finds the way to do telepathy and I don't know, for example, visions in dreams and lucid dreaming and those things, if we really tap into that. I met a guy, Freak, and the rest here. Maybe you find this interesting. So this guy is like during COVID, he was in lockdown with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend got super interested in lucid dreaming. And she started, because she usually lucid dream, but she started experimenting with it and really pushing the boundaries. And she was writing now a book that she wrote in her dreams. So she wrote the book in her dreams, and then when she woke up, she wrote the same thing she dreamed about. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So just some ideas, but I love the idea of like tech and magic being the same thing.
To be honest, once we get brain-machine interfaces, that's kind of like the whole Neuralink thing, is that you can control your phone and all the things around just by sending the proper signal into a receipt or into a transmitter.
Oh, cool, bro. This was for Rabbit. I was doing this for Rabbit. I really for the Rabbit King. Okay, so you want to jump onto the map building stuff? We're already recording. And at the other corner, have you been using the tools to change sections and to expand to the left, to the right, to the top? Because all those things are really good also on creating the look and feel of things. Those can help you a lot.
Yeah, I've not got to that. I've literally used some of the Midjourney prompts and then loaded tiles up the other day. That's as far as I've got.
Check, for example, check this one. This one comes from this, that comes from here. Started like this, and I started expanding up and going up till I got to the world. That was it's in the controls of Midjourney. Here, when you finish the image, and let me check here. I'm gonna take one of your images, okay? If it's okay. I'm gonna take this number 4.
Yep.
So in this number 4 image that you're gonna see here, you have variations. You can get like strong variations. You can have small variations. You can also vary region. So let's say I want a pirate ship here, and I'm gonna do pirate ship, and wait, I'm just gonna do pirate ship 48 by 48 art 16 bits. Let's see if it works. So he will only work on that region of what I did. The other one is zooming. So I can zoom out 2x, I can zoom out 1.5, or I can custom zoom. And when I zoom, I can change the prompt. So here in 2D Deserted Island, I could be talking about an urban graffiti city. And that's what, you didn't change the style. So it will play with the style. This is nice. And that's submission. And I did zoom of 2. So it will zoom out, but it will try to build the new instructions I gave. Look, we got the pirate ship here. It created the pirate ship.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't realize you could do that.
Yeah, it is really useful because you can work on small details, like a hand. You really like the image, but the hand is fucked up. You just work on the hand and it will do it for you. That's incredible. It's an incredible tool. And the last but not least is you want to expand up, you want to expand down, you want to expand to the left, or you want to expand to the right. So let's build it up. Let's see what's above. You can also reprompt it. So what it builds, it becomes something new. So you can actually create stories. Like I do it a lot for videos that I want to just pan through the image. So I create like really long horizontal images and I just pan it. And then I separate the background and the foreground with Photoshop, and I refill the background, and it gives you like perspective. Remember the 16-bit games like Donkey Kong and all that? They have like different layers and they all move at different pace. So the one at the furthest moves slower, the one in the middle moves, and then the front just moves really fast and you think it's a 3D space. So I also do that effect with all these things. So check it out. We got the boat here. Here's generating. Oh, here's the zoom out. This is just the zoom, but you see the world kept on getting big, and we can zoom out again, and we can zoom out again, and we can zoom out again. So it's really fun. It was really fun. And the other one, this is the one we said build up. So this, check it out. This is what it did. So now we can say, oh, we really like this number 2, or number 3 looks really special. So let's go for number 3, but now let's just do it downwards and see what it shows us. Those are really good tools in Midjourney that you can use to Okay, we already looked at some of the prompts we're using to generate. I really like this one. It's working for me. So I'm gonna show you how it, I'm gonna show you how it will generate the initial map, and then we will jump on building the map and using the tools, if it's okay for you. So while this is being created, let's go here. We need to go to the mapeditor.org page and download Tile. Tile is the software we'll be using. Unity also has a tile map builder that you can use. I find this one more simple, easier. It's been out for 10 years, hasn't changed that much, which means it's good. So I learned it. I'm not a programmer. I'm a creator. I work with video, images, photography, stories, scripts, storytelling. So I'm not in the coding side of things, even though I would love to. I don't need to anymore with ChatGPT. And so this is as simple as someone like me can understand. So if I could understand it and manage it, for sure you will be able to. Another thing, there's a link in official links and also in the Metaverse Builders channel, in the pinned messages, there's a link to this. These are the templates you can use to build your own maps. These two JSON files are where we're gonna open in the tile map, and these are assets and images that we're gonna play around to create our map. While tile is being downloaded, let's see what it dropped. Okay, so we got some pretty cool images. I really like this, like alley kind of way. Feels like a dark alley where like underground business can be managed. And look at Horny, this is like the image that it generated going down. It's okay, but you got the tool. So we got this image. It's pretty cool. Actually, I really like it. We could use this as a base for a map already. This one could work. We could separate it and have some objects on top. I'm gonna start a new project. We call it Freaky Fridays. It's the Freaky Fridays tutorial. So I'm gonna just show you an example of how to work with what we already have, with the assets we already have. We got two versions here of the base template, and so we can go for Dega V3 or Dega base map. Let's go for V3. This I already changed a lot of things, but okay. Here you have the tree for your project. So we're working on demo tutorials, base templates with Dega map JSON 1 and 2. Here we have version 2, version 3. This one is more complete. So here you will navigate through the assets, especially the JSON. Here you have the properties for your map. We're playing with orthogonal orientation. One really important thing is the tile width and the tile height. This is the pixels. How many pixels each of these squares have. So when you're working, painting, and creating, you gotta keep that in mind. Because when you import things into the software, you gotta tell it what's the aspect ratio for each little square, and we're gonna say 48 by 48. For this map, for Dega maps, we're working with 48 by 48 pixels per square. Now, this map has a width of 54 squares and a height of 30 squares. So this means that 30 times 48, it will be the height pixels. And 54 times 48 will be the width number of pixels. That easy, just get the calculator. Let's get the calculator up, and okay, it's 54 times 48. Okay, that's what you need to do the width. And let's do 48 times 30 is 1350. That will be the height. And when you import it, it will fit right into this. Okay. Next thing that is really important to understand is the layer panel. The layer panel holds the layers of the project. So I'm going to hide all the layers. So this is what you get. So you go from bottom up, like if you were stacking things one on top of each other. If we imagine you're building like how do you call what architects do? How do you call that? A model base of a city. Okay, if you're building a model base of a city, you do it from the ground up. So you first lay out where you're gonna put it, then you like the first part of the building, then you put the roof. You start building one thing on top of each other. It's the same principle here. So here you got the base. This is the basic map. This is how it will end up looking. So you say, oh, I have water here. This is like a beautiful river thing. On the border, we have some roads that people can walk through, and then like some rocky, and then we got grass. And that's part of the design and the look and feel and everything. So then you start putting on top your world. So your world would, what is this? This one went crazy over here. Because I haven't built the other layer. So one thing that's important about the world here, we got the world, and I already altered it and put I love Frickathon in there, is check this out, is the collide properties. So the world are the things that are on top of your world, and the things that you don't want people to walk through, or your characters to go through, you just mark them as collides. You give them a custom property. I'll show you later how to do that. You give it a custom property and you say collides. So that means the character cannot go in there. Cannot go in there at all. That's really important. And if you see this house, the rooftop, it doesn't have the collide property. Why? You see they're all missing here. The rooftop is because the rooftop is in the layer above player. So here, this part is the character is gonna go behind it. So because this is a player layer. In the player layer is where the player lives and moves and that. So you have an above player that is gonna be on top. So he's gonna go behind those things. And then you have the world that is below the player layer. And the player is gonna walk on top of those things. This is a little logic, but I think it's pretty simple. I'm gonna stop right here to see if any of you have questions so far. And breathe. No questions? Richie, any observations? Anything I'm missing here?
No, that's pretty clear.
When we're building our maps, do we need to follow these same temps, basically?
Yeah, these maps you can, even though you can change everything, all you need to build the same template is let me put it. What you must follow all the time is the layers and the sizes.
Okay.
Anything else you can change. And I'm going to show you how to change it. For example, we want to change this whole thing, this whole map. We want to change everything. We can do it like this, and we paint by tiles. We take the stamp tool and we start painting like this. It's really fun, actually. It's like color by numbers kind of thing. Or you can use the paint tool, and the paint tool will let you fill larger plots of land or larger plots of things. So let's say, okay, we'll look at water. Let's make everything water. It feels like regions that are similar since we have different types of grass. I'm trying to make everything water. So let's do it with stamp tool. Okay. Now we got the islands you wanted, that Hornigold wanted. We can start building those islands. Let's say, and then in the world and all those, we're going to change the things, the tiles and the details. Okay. So we got this world and we want to create some islands here. Okay, let's do an island here. It doesn't have a cool shape, but it doesn't matter. It's just showing. We have another island here, another island here. We'll use some sand in the middle to create some beaches where the boats can rest and come. People will go have fun there at the beach. And then we will have a big island here that we will continue to another map, and it will allow us to continue our map to another thing. And I also want some grass with little leaves. I don't want it flat. Okay, so we got this. Now we go to our world and it was, we need a lighthouse here. In order to have our lighthouse, I'm gonna go to the world layer. This part, which is the one that collides. If it doesn't have the properties, I can add the properties. You can add property. Oh, this is locked. I'm going to erase all these things. So let's erase this. Erasing it like this because I don't know how to do a whole erasing. I think is here. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So we erase all those things and then we're gonna play with this. Let's see. I cannot add. Okay. I should be able to add the collider, but since I'm not, we're going to put some lighthouse here. I killed this selection. Okay, I'm going to put the lighthouse here. I'm going to put another lighthouse here. And let's put one here. But wait, I don't like this style of houses. Shit, I want to change this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my Photoshop. You can even do this in Microsoft Paint. You can do whatever you want to do it. Okay, so it doesn't matter where you're doing it. You can alter these things really easy. And I'm going to show you now how to set up your Photoshop, okay? Because you do need to prepare Photoshop for this. I think I already have mine set up, but I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna show you how to do it. Okay, let's say we got the new file. We're gonna create, let's open the file that we're gonna alter. We wanna open the same file we're using in the tile maps. So we're gonna go to the same folder and we have all these maps here. We can alter the textures, we can alter grounds and world. Okay, so let's say we're gonna alter the world PNG. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here, new version. I'm gonna go back here and go walk you through the setup so you can work inside the Photoshop for pixel art. So you go to edit, preferences, you go to general. That's the first place you're gonna go. In general, you will find image interpolation. Here, Photoshop usually will be set to bicubic, best for smooth gradients. What happens here is whenever you're painting, it will smudge the borders. It will, smudge it a little bit so it looks more natural. But we're not playing natural, we're playing pixel art. We want hard edges. So we're gonna go to the nearest network, preserve hard edges, and we're gonna choose that. That's the first setup. Really important if you wanna keep this style of pixel art. If you want another style, you can work a different style. And the map builder allows you to use different style. It doesn't have to be pixel art. I just really like working with pixel art and I'm showing the pixel art way. But you can use like more vectorial, more clean maps. It's okay. It's just 48 by 48 every square. Next part is go to guides, grid, and slices. And here you have the grid. And this is where we're gonna focus. So you choose any color you want for your grid. I really like the light gray. It's the more transparent. You choose the lines, how you wanna see these lines, the lines to be, but here's the important part. You need a grid line every 1 pixel. And subdivisions, you're gonna do 1 subdivision. So it doesn't have like inside things. It's 1 subdivision and that's all you need. And this is what you will get. You see? Now, how are we gonna paint this? We need a special brush. So when you go to brushes, it's not a special brush. It's actually not a brush. You're not gonna use the brush tool. You actually click and hold in the brush tool and it will show you these options, and we're gonna pick the pencil tool. We're gonna set it here to 1 pixel and 100% hardness. That's it. And we can start painting. Now that we have this brush set up, we can start painting. And you're gonna see here our grid. So we can start painting. You can start doing your paints. You can play 48 by 8 or whatever. And you start altering this thing. Yeah, you don't have to stay or keep the hardness for this. You can go like 21 by 21. Yeah, you can play it. You can play also. And all these things will reflect once you save them, all these things will be reflected on your tile map. So let's save this really ugly art that I just did. Don't judge my art by that. And see, we're gonna put ugly houses in our island. Really ugly fucking houses. Here, this one is the part that has the collides because I'm gonna put it here, so I want the character to be able to walk behind it. But since I got the roof here who has no collide, I'm gonna put it above player, and I'm gonna paint it here. Okay, I'm gonna paint above player. I need to make it like this, and there you go. I have a little house. The player will collide here. To erase, player will collide there. Okay, let's clean it. Okay. So now the player will go behind this and it will collide with here. So I guess it's only 1 entrance for our player. And that's pretty much it, people. That's it. This is how you build the maps, how you save them. You save the JSON file and that's what you're going to be uploading to the map builder. I'm going to show you that on the next session, but this is it. So thank you very much. Any questions, just let me know. And thank you, folks, in the recording. I hope you use it. Remember to participate in the 300,000 Dega token contest. Go crazy, go wild. Imagine the world